You asked the Premier of New South Wales in Parliament this week, last week, Gladys Berejiklian, whether parliamentarians shouldn't have to disclose their water ownership. And you asked, basically, the Premier, given the New South Wales water crisis, your words, and current investigations into water trading and water corruption, will the Premier explain why state members of Parliament don't have to declare their water ownership? Before you ask that question, coming to Peter, likewise, there are federal parliamentarians, I'm told, who own water.
And it wouldn't be specific on their disclosures that they would have to own up to a water right. I have to say, I have concerns that some recently departed federal MPs, and probably some still in the Parliament, own water.
And that's your concern, Helen?
Absolutely.
Because you're up front, you say I own water.
That's right, I did. And when I saw the form to fill in, when I joined Parliament, I just thought, there was no obligation to actually disclose my water interests at all.
And the Premier didn't answer your question?
No, she said that, well, basically she said that we should trust politicians.
Yes, you said the water market, you've said, is an unregulated disgrace. We know there are people who have an interest in keeping water scarce and prices high. They're making millions off the misery of drought-stricken farmers.
Absolutely.
I don't know, and Peter doesn't know, which of these politicians own water. Then you've got these private water holders, this Duxton Water, who own enough water to fill a warren or a dam.
That's right.
They don't own a tablecloth of land.
That's right. And, of course, all the foreign interests too. So we know a lot of that water is, a lot of land and water is owned by foreign entities, corporations, and that's a big concern.
You also raise this question of the manufacture of Bellamy's, being the sale of it being approved to a Chinese company. And you said this is a long sequence of events, the sale of important Australian assets to overseas investors. And you gave a speech on how government is, quote, making decisions about foreign purchases in secrecy. And you said the coalition in the last 30 years have successfully portrayed themselves as strong at protecting our borders, strong at putting Australian interests ahead of those of foreigners. But then you said this, but protecting our borders should be about more than just stopping sick refugee children from presenting at Australian hospitals. It means protecting Australian land, Australian jobs, Australian water, Australian farms, Australian heritage, and the Australian way of life. Absolutely. On that score, the coalition has failed.
Absolutely. So
how many people in the Parliament in the chamber when you made this speech?
Probably about 3 or 4.
And no reaction?
No, well, I think that, you know...
But in the electorate, what's the reaction?
A lot. Absolutely. So we put it up on the Facebook and people are tuning in on it, and it's been shared, I don't know how many times, but it's certainly resonating within the community. And also outside of the electorate of Murray too. I get a lot of people coming in and commenting about what's happening. People are fed up, absolutely. And we're in a lot of trouble.
Talking about fed up.